Bien, estamos de regreso y tengo conmigo a Jay Jacobson, CEO de Cellemy, una empresa especializada en simulaciones. Es el nuevo paradigma en la moderna educación, en los cambios que usted está precisamente viendo que están sucediendo. Y Rino Senior, quien es el CEO de Sixteen, empresa con más de 15 años en el mercado dominicano, en el mercado internacional, asesorando a las principales universidades del país y a las principales empresas. Con ellos vamos a seguir conversando sobre este tema tan interesante que se conoce con el nombre de simulaciones. Okay? Jay, we were before going to the break, we were talking about if I want to hire somebody, but I don't want to take the risk of hiring a person that, in the way of, let's say, working with them, I discovered that that's not the right person. Could the simulation give me the chance to see how the people act and how the people has the abilities to do the job?
Well, simulations and interactive learning is not necessarily an assessment tool for hiring. And if it is, it can be one ingredient in the recipe, one data point. However, when you have individuals in the organization, it is a way of providing an opportunity to determine where they are in their business development and to put them on a development path. Simulations and interactive learning is a way of developing people's skills. We live in a very specialized society, and businesses today need well-rounded leaders who can take a broad perspective of the business. Simulations and interactive learning allow the individual and the organization an opportunity to become much more well-rounded, to think strategically, to move beyond one's individual department and see the organization as a complex system that needs proper leadership.
Okay. Rino, Dominican Republic has the need of simulate a lot of situations because of let's say a very uncertain situation that is going through the Dominican Republic. Let's say in what areas simulation can do a better contribution. I guess, for example, banks. Could the banks use this tool as a very trusty, let's say, way of doing things?
Well, there is one particular area. There's many, as Jay has described, but there's one particular area where we feel that simulations can become instrumental in the development of the Dominican Republic's core issues, and that is financial abilities, financial skills. This is one of the areas that universities and the whole education system has identified as one of the strongest weakness for professionals jumping in and getting a career path into development for managers. They cannot do it if they're not financially sound, financially skilled, and we have identified the solutions that Cellemy offers, in which they are specializing in boards, in game boards that tackles the financial capabilities of managers. Those boards allow, in very short periods of time, experiences that may last from 5 hours to 8 hours, develop a deep comprehension of finance, of interpreting financial statements, and aligning the ability for a manager to align themselves to understand how to impact an organization in a financially oriented way. So understanding how difficult it is for people to get a deep understanding of financials, we feel that these products may bring in an actual solution, a pedagogy that is strong, that is sound, that is short, and that provides a very deep comprehension of finance, and that might help the development of leaders and entrepreneurs, which is an area that the government and the society overall is promoting, the development of entrepreneurship. So we are envisioning these boards to play a major role on initiatives, on programs that will strengthen financial education in a very sound and productive way.
I participate in Spain. Spain has an association for young entrepreneurs, and they have here it's called ANGE. It's a kind of ANGE, but in Spain. And one of the major tools they use in order to help young people to develop new business is precisely this simulation tool. And they said that if you have a project, okay, sit down here, let's see how good is your project. If you go through, we give you the support. If you don't, maybe we have to review what are the weaknesses that the project has. The startups in Silicon Valley validate this tool as a major tool in order to make let's say technology that has a very uncertain future, because you never know if this proposal is going through, is going to work, and if you're gonna get the money in order to develop, because you have to find people that trust you in order to obtain the funds to develop. What experiences you have in that kind of situation?
Well, in a situation, first of all, with youth, these learning tools, learning simulations and learning approaches are used right at the high school level. And we have programs in the United States where it's a way of introducing business, entrepreneurship, helping young emerging entrepreneurs knowing what's required for them to bring an idea to market and to provide a go-to-market strategy. For older entrepreneurs, for people in the high-tech space, it provides an opportunity who may have great technical skills and wonderful ideas, but it needs to be complemented with the skills that can allow someone to go to market. The best idea in the world also requires a proper understanding and certain level of business acumen, so when you go in front of investors and have to present your ideas, you understand what their needs are and how to present it in their language that gives them confidence that their investment will pay off.
So the tool can tell this person you're gonna get the funds in order to get, or you got a probability to get some support.
Well, it's fair to say that you can be an entrepreneur and you can have the greatest idea.
Yes.
And you can be able to even put it together in an organized way. You can create your business model, use the canvas to define all the elements. You can put it into paper. But when you start operational, you have to have the skills to tackle the issues that confront entrepreneurs in the sense of cash flows and investings and turning a profit, and be able to adjust and adapt the strategy to changing situations. So that's practical skills, and this is the type of programs that we actually do. Is just one phase is to think about the business, and the other phase to be able to do it and to take it to safe port in a profitable manner.
Okay, Europe was the continent that developed this tool. Yes. You were saying before we start this conversation, Sweden you said?
Yes, our origins are in Sweden, where it was
Okay.
first pioneered.
Okay. How is simulation now in Sweden, the country that gave birth to this tool? What they doing right now? Are they still using it? They are doing some, let's say, advanced changes. How people from Sweden looking at this kind of way of learning?
Well, our organization has offices in the U.S., in Asia, and in Europe. So input and keeping the pulse on the market and what the needs of the business community are really extend beyond Sweden. Even though Sweden was the place it was first pioneered, we really rely on a global perspective of the needs of organizations today. And yet Sweden still remains our headquarters, and we have competitors that also are
You have
in
the
Europe.
headquarters still in Sweden?
In Sweden,
Okay.
But it is not, they certainly don't isolate themselves because we have global offices and keeping the pulse, understanding the business needs from a global perspective,
Okay.
both in Asia and the United States, are important and shape the development of new simulations and new learning approaches.
Okay. So you are in a lot of countries. This tool is globalized, I will say, no?
Well, that's right. We have representatives, partners in over 70 countries.
Wow.
And we produce simulations and interactive learning solutions in up to 17 different languages. So
Wow.
it does have a global appeal, and there is a demand for this really in all areas, including developing countries, that both developed and developing countries and emerging economies where you have an emerging workforce, a more youthful workforce that is receptive to new technology and new approaches.
Okay, so this tool has been walking around the world
It is.
for a while, and from one country to another, I think you make some adjustment in order to, let's say, give more importance to one aspect to the other. So the tool get adapt to the needs of the country. Is that correct?
Irving, that's correct, and it gets adapted in a couple of different ways.
Okay.
Learning styles are different,
Yeah.
so the facilitator has to adjust their approach, and also simulations have to be modified a bit in some cases to reflect various challenges of the market, the competitive landscape, and different practices of business. But on the other hand, in many cases, despite all these differences, the skills that are required and the enthusiasm that people show for this type of approach are universal. And so there's many more similarities than there are differences.
Okay.
But there's a core capability also that Selemi has, which is the tailoring to specific problems of organizations. So not only does Selemi has this portfolio of off-the-shelf solutions, which are products that are already designed, but Selemi can also go into a market, into a big company or even a governmental issue and address a specific scenario or case and develop simulation from scratch to address the particular problems of a company on a major scale.
So if you have
one of the,
you have a problem, you have an answer, and the answer is, let's say, adapted or designed
can be written up
to
from
resolve a problem that the organization has. That's pretty neat.
That's right. A good portion of our business is custom interactive and simulations.
Okay.
So an organization will say, who may have tried traditional training and traditional lecture training, and perhaps it hasn't worked, or they've learned that this is the best approach. They can say, these are our issues, these are our business challenges. We need to develop our people in order to solve them. Can you translate this learning approach to a simulation or interactive learning methodology? And we're happy to do that for our customers.
Excellent. I want to thank you to Reno Senior, who is the CEO of Six Sim, and Jay Jacobson, who is the CEO for Salami, that is the probably the oldest and the most important organization about this simulation methodology of learning. And I want to give you the opportunity to address to the audience, to invite them to learn a little bit more. Do you have let's say a web page or an address that you can give to the people?
Well, there is, but first I want to thank you, Irving, for giving me the opportunity to speak to you and to speak to the community in the Dominican Republic.
Okay.
And there is a website, it's www.salami.com, but more importantly, Reno is our partner here in the Dominican Republic, and we work very close together, and I would encourage you to contact Reno.
Excellent.
And we work together in partnership.
Excellent.
So, Irving, thank you for this openness. As usual, we've been discussing this issue for many years, ever since we started.
Yes.
So it's a great opportunity to have been able to share with Jay in his visit to share all these experiences as Salami is our key strategic partner for us because of the nature of and the strength and the robustness of their solutions. So we're very thankful to have had the opportunity to discuss this with your audience.
Do we have a phone number for you?
Yeah, you can also visit us in our webpage, www.sixsim.com.
Sixsim, you write S-I-G
S-I-M,
S-I-M,
and there you will find all the information on the Salami products and all the descriptions of what we do.
Okay. Thank you again to our fellows here in the Dominican Republic and all over the world, because this interview is going through Biz TV, that is an IP channel also, and a channel that is based on Facebook. We have streaming on Facebook, and we have streaming in YouTube. You can find this interview very soon, and don't let to take advantage of this excellent proposal, these excellent tools. These two professionals just show you one of the many aspects that you can get help with problem in companies, in education, in many ways. So we thank for them for their time, and keep with us. We will be back in a few seconds with more contents for you.